Okay, so I've gotten this painting as far as I can today. The oils are so wet, they've really got to dry. The one thing I am trying to work on, and I'll do that right now, are her hands. I don't need to have them exact. I don't need to have the exact colors, but I do need the painting to be completely even. And so, before I walk out the door, so I'm going to try and do these real quick. I love doing the hands and fingers in an abstract. I prefer them not being exact, but I'm not sure how my front Klein lines are going to work in here. And I certainly don't, in an attempt to be clever, to be so unique and clever, that I screw things up. It's important to me that I'm respectful of the reference, but that I also carry my aesthetic. Ooh, I must carry my aesthetic through my work. I joke around about it, but yeah, it's true. I have a very clear aesthetic. I have a very clear idea of how I want my paintings to feel. But at the same time, I don't want to be so clever in my aesthetic that I mess things up. So again, I'm not sure if I'm going to leave those stripes behind there or not. But I needed to bring her hands, you only get a little bit of arm showing, but her hands up to the level of the rest of the painting. Now this certainly is not close to done. This is probably about 50% through, maybe 60, somewhere in there. But right now I've got oils on here that need to dry, so I can start layering and layering and layering. This is feeling really flat to me, but it's kind of on purpose. It's to give me a base. The background is, I'm probably going to play with the blues a little bit more, the dark and the light blues. I don't know if I'm going to even it all out. When I get home and I see my pictures and video, then I'll figure it out. But right now I've got blues in the white dots. I've got blues in the dots. Those will eventually be white, because this is what this artist wears, is these, really fun, almost clownish gowns that she makes, or somebody makes for her. They're tunic with billowing sleeves down this way, and they all have white dots either printed on them or sewn on them. I've seen both in photographs where there's these little stitches. Actually, I may do that. Look at that. They're not terribly obvious, but that could be fun. And it would bring the idea of her work into her gown. So maybe it's something to think about. We'll just make notes for later. Because, yeah, that does replicate her work. Carrying the idea through and keeping it even. Oop, I need a fold there. Forgot about that. But yeah, there's a lot. I get kind of obsessive. There's all kinds of layers to go yet. But I've got the base done. And that means I get to go home. Not that I want to, it's just that we're having a bad snowstorm, so I've got to get inside. Those fingers are not quite right. I don't like them. I love her fingers. She's got an older woman's fingers with they're almost like gloves in a way. When people's skin gets a little bit older, they start to look like gloves. Not to be creepy, but they also look, some people have the look that their hands, that they've already been embalmed, rather, before they're dead. Their hands just have that all of a sudden very smooth but wrinkled but artificial feel. She's not quite there. She works with her hands so much. that they've taken on that kind of embalmed older person's shape, but without being horrid and ugly. As you can hear, I've been looking at her quite a bit and watching her. I love watching her work. She tends to chew a lot, so her expression is very much along that line, expresses it. So, and I just crazy about this woman. I think if I had ever known her, I think I would have been a stalker. Or if I had the ability to get to Japan, I'd probably be a stalker. Doing that, like, either that or hanging out around her building. I guess her studio is right across from the asylum that she lives in. And they're building a museum for her because she is considered a national treasure. Okay, that, as you can see, the hand's not quite right, but this is just sketching in the idea. Yeah. They're too long. They're too long. I like exaggerated hands, but it's not right. All right. Well, I'm going to worry about the details later. I'm going to get Bugsy home, get him inside. Oh, let's do this. Go. You see something? Let's pull back. Yeah. Okay, I think you can pretty much see the whole thing right now. As I said, it's a matter of waiting for the oils to dry and then starting to layer and layer and layer. And actually, it's probably about 65% done. Yeah, layer and layer and layer and layer. And I also have to go home and restudy her artwork. So I make sure that I am the intent of capturing her and expressing the way she feels. Hopefully expressing her from the inside out. I can do... I forgot where I was going. In expressing her from the inside out, the way she feels, and not just capturing a likeness of her, which a lot of people make. I think is a big mistake that people make. You know, they don't capture the fun or the heart or the thought or the feelings of people. They tend to capture the outside shell. So in expressing who she is, who I believe, you know, how I believe she feels, or my understanding of how she feels, I also have to be able to replicate her shapes, which are in all of her paintings. So I'm going to research the shapes that I already have that are based on her works, and then also start thinking about what I'm going to work in, because like me, she works in layers. What could be simplistic, it ends up being just completely technically, what am I looking for? Difficult work, where someone who doesn't have her vision, her level of expertise, her understanding could not replicate. They could certainly try, but it would come out childish, whereas her stuff is just so completely sophisticated. And I'm going to work on being able to pronounce her name. Yeah, time to let it sit. Just let it sit and settle. All right, ciao.